Hey famous fans, you already know the drill. Buckle up for the juiciest, most ironic and wildly dramatic scoop on the web. We're diving headfirst into a scandal so rich it's practically dripping. And trust me, it involves more tea than a royal garden party. Let's get into it. Fans were left scratching their heads and probably their phones when Usher pulled off the ultimate disappearing act on X, formerly Twitter. Picture this: Usher, mid-tour, decided to clean house on his social media. And by clean, I mean wipe it all out. The man erased over 7,000 tweets as if his Twitter account were a chalkboard in a crime scene, just days after his very close friend Sean Diddy Combs got hit with some jaw-dropping charges. And when I say jaw-dropping, I'm not talking about a parking ticket. We're talking racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. You know, just your casual everyday accusations, right? I mean, talk about timing. Usher, the man who serenaded us with hits for decades, suddenly hits delete on thousands of tweets right as Diddy gets entangled in one of the biggest celebrity scandals of the year. Honey, if this doesn't raise your eyebrows, you might want to get those checked. Something smells fishy, and it's not the sushi at Nobu. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can you scrub 7,000 tweets and think nobody's going to notice? I mean, it's Usher. This man is a household name. He's the guy whose voice you can hear playing in the background at every high school prom, every wedding reception, every 2000s R&B throwback playlist. Deleting 7K tweets mid-tour isn't exactly subtle. And yet, there we were on Sunday, staring at the digital wasteland that used to be Usher's X profile. It looked more deserted than a mall food court after closing time. But wait, there's more. Of the few remnants left on Usher's profile, 2 of them were hacked posts. Because of course, why not throw in a couple of cryptocurrency scam tweets to keep things interesting? I mean, nothing screams I'm not suspicious like a rogue Bitcoin promo. Fans were quick to slip into detective mode, piecing together why Usher would choose this particular moment right in the middle of his massive past, present, future tour to disappear from social media faster than a magician's rabbit. One baffled fan tweeted, "Nobody on Usher's team thought deleting 7K posts in the middle of a scandal was a bad idea. And honestly, where was his crisis management team during this? Were they all out grabbing a latte or something?" I mean, come on. A high-profile star deleting his entire digital history during a scandal like this. Who thought this would fly under the radar? It's like trying to sneak a lion into a petting zoo. People are going to notice. Another confused fan chimed in with, "Hua, Usher deleted his entire X history. Why would someone so high-profile do that?" Well, dear fan, we're all asking the same thing. It's not like the entire world isn't glued to their phones 24/7, just waiting for the next morsel of celebrity gossip. Did Usher really think he could just click delete and no one would say a word? Oh, Usher, sweetie, it's 2024. Nothing gets past the internet. Yet another fan summed it up best. Usher scrubbing his Twitter says everything we need to know. And honestly, it does. Deleting 7,000 tweets during a scandal of this magnitude is the equivalent of setting off a flare in a room full of detectives. You don't just erase that much history unless there's some serious stuff going down behind the scenes. By Sunday evening, Usher finally broke his silence, but not by restoring his tweets. Oh, no. He took to X to set the record straight. Well, kinda. He claimed his account was hacked. That's right, folks, the hacker excuse, an oldie but a goodie in the celebrity playbook. He tweeted, "Account got hacked," and damn I all ran with it. Oh, and he threw in some crying face emojis for good measure, because nothing says I'm being serious like a few sad faces. Then, because he's still Usher, he added, "See you tonight at Intweet Dome," reminding fans that the show must go on even when your social media history is reduced to digital dust. Page 6 tried reaching out to Usher's reps for more details, but surprise, surprise, crickets. No official comment. Maybe they're busy drafting up the next excuse. Perhaps his dog ate his tweets. Hey, stranger things have happened in Hollywood. But let's not ignore the giant elephant in the room here, Usher's very close friendship with none other than Diddy. While Usher hasn't been accused of anything, his name is being tossed around in some pretty awkward conversations. For instance, Usher and Ne-Yo were supposedly witnesses to some, let's say, unpleasantness between Diddy and his ex Cassie. Yeah, it's that kind of awkward. Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Back in the 90s, Usher was Diddy's protege, practically living with him in New York. And what did Usher have to say about those wild days? Well, in a 2004 interview with Rolling Stone, Usher casually mentioned it was always girls around. Oh, Usher, your gift for understatement is unparalleled. But it doesn't stop there. Usher went on to describe his time living with Diddy as a sort of R-rated crash course in grown-up activities. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen. Yep, Usher was living his very own eyes wide shut moment, and he wasn't even old enough to rent a car. Talk about a wild upbringing. And if that wasn't enough, Usher admitted that while he may have dabbled with women during this time, he didn't. Hahem sealed the deal until he was 19. As he so eloquently put it, strange, but I never busted A&T before then. Thanks for that, Ush. That's an image I'll never get out of my head. He also claimed he would stop before things got too heated, just to make sure the girl was enjoying herself. What a gentleman, right? Fast forward to 2016, and Usher reflected on those wild days during an interview with the Howard Stern show. He admitted that some very curious things happened during his time with Diddy, but even now, he doesn't fully grasp the scope of what went down. And honestly, who can blame him? We're not sure anyone fully comprehended the whirlwind that was Diddy's life in the 90s. Now, while Usher has remained tight-lipped about his old buddy's current legal troubles, the situation is hard to ignore. In case you've been living under a rock. Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit last November accusing him of, you guessed it, rape and abuse throughout their decade-long relationship. Diddy, of course, denied the allegations, but within 24 hours, a settlement was reached. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Although 54-year-old Combs, aka Puff Daddy, and Love has been orchestrating a lot more than just braggadocious bad behavior during the intervening decades, according to a federal indictment unsealed Tuesday. Instead, it charges he's been the veritable architect and leader of a criminal enterprise engaged in alleged arson, kidnapping, forced labor, bribery, obstruction of justice, and sex trafficking. Yep, folks, he's not just remixing songs anymore, he's allegedly remixing crime. It was that final accusation laid out not in federal charging papers, but in a series of damning lawsuits last year that first revealed the growing cracks in the veneer of Combs' carefully curated reputation. The man who once claimed to won't stop, can't stop, apparently couldn't stop, well, breaking the law. He strenuously denied all wrongdoing, of course, because denial is always the first step in the celebrity scandal handbook. But as we all know, where there's smoke, there's usually a very expensive, high-profile fire. The findings were quickly followed by a Bicosto raid on his properties amid a tight-lipped federal investigation. And then came the piece de resistance, the leaking of a violent video showing Diddy's brutal beatdown of then-girlfriend Cassie. Cue the collective gasp. It's one thing to have rumors swirling, but that video, oh honey, that was the final nail in the coffin. Proof that his denials were as false as his claims of being a family man. Now, to be clear, Usher hasn't been implicated in any of Diddy's legal mess. But when your best friend is embroiled in one of the biggest scandals of the decade, it's only a matter of time before the media. But wait, this gets juicier. Usher's entire career has been intertwined with Diddy's, going all the way back to the Bad Boy era. It was Diddy who had a major hand in shaping Usher into the superstar we know today. So is Usher keeping quiet out of loyalty, or is there something even deeper brewing behind the scenes? Combs tried a weak-filmed apology on Instagram where he mumbled something about hitting rock bottom and being fed up. Yeah, we know. And let's not forget, Usher is no stranger to keeping secrets. The man had 2 secret marriages. For crying out loud. His love life has always been a topic of speculation, and now his friendship with Diddy is raising more than a few eyebrows. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen, he shared. What's next for Usher? Will he continue on his tour like nothing happened? Will he finally break his silence on Diddy? Or will this just be another one of those Hollywood mysteries that fades into the background only to be dredged up again years later? And that's the latest tea on Usher's mysterious vanishing tweets and his questionable connections to Diddy. What do you think, famous fans? Coincidence? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the wildest celebrity scandals. You've been watching Famous Faces Scoop TV, where there's never a dull moment. And remember, bisous bisous.